Hello, friends and family, and welcome to the 2023 LWS Open at Idlewild, presented by Dynamic Discs and The Natty. Coverage brought to you by Run Productions. My name is Holly Finley.
And I'm Raven Klein. So glad you could join us for the second day here in Burlington, Kentucky. We've got another exciting group of ladies ready to attack this course. On our feature card today, we've got Lykke Lorentzen, and she was first in regulation yesterday with 39%. Second on the card, we have Macie Velediaz with second in birdies, another 39%. Should be fun to see her play this course.
Next up, Lykke Fajkus, 8th in fairway hits. Rounding out the card, Missy Gannon, second in birdies at 39%. Here we are on hole 1, a par 4, 638 feet with out of bounds on the left and the right, continuing around behind the basket. Your first shot could be aggressive, getting maximum distance, or keeping it low and a little more conservative, making sure you're ending up in a good landing zone. Your second shot, hopefully between 275 and 200 feet, giving you a look at a birdie 3.
First to throw in our new 12:20 timing from Tønsberg, Norway, Lykke Lorentzen.
Lykke going with that safer approach, but definitely releasing a lot lower than I think she would have wanted to, so not getting as much distance.
From Morristown, Tennessee, Macie Velediaz.
Macie really hanging on to that one and swinging much wider, catching the right side tree. She'll still be safe on that right side, but it will leave her a harder approach.
Third to throw from Canyon Lake, Texas, Lykke Fajkus.
Lykke Fajkus, first season on Lone Star Disc.
She's been playing pretty well this season.
Yes, she has. Lykke pulls it over to the right, but it's working back in front of that tree. She's safe in the middle.
And rounding out the 12:20 card from Beacon, New York, Missy Gannon.
Man, she looks fast in those shoes.
She really does. I would not want to race her today.
Missy Gannon with a more conservative line, low and direct. Gets good distance on that low line. Safe in the middle. First up, Lykke Fajkus. Probably about 295 into the pin, and she puts a lot of torque on that shot. It turns over to the right side, and she's out of bounds, unfortunately.
Lykke with a great looking approach here. Gets past pin high and she'll have a putt for birdie. The real issue on this hole is everyone just trying to make sure you don't land in or under the final guardian tree by the basket.
Velediaz with a forehand approach. Skips under that tree, goes a little long, and gives herself maybe a 35-footer for birdie.
Missy was able to get a lot of distance on her drive, and her approach was shorter, but she leaves that pretty left, stays in bounds. Find that to be a common error because you don't want to push far into the tree.
This is Lykke Fajkus's, oh goodness, fourth shot, and she hits the tower and rolls into that very thick bush, which is going to leave her another obstructed putt for a bogey.
Macie, from where she rolled down to, just taking the pitch up, gonna grab that par.
If you are familiar with Macie Velediaz's game, she doesn't take a lot of risks. She's a very conservative, safe player, and that serves her very well. You can see Lykke just doesn't really have a putt at all. Oh my gosh,
wow.
She made a putt out of that. Look at that. I'm taking my words back. You know, I used to call her Long Putt Lykke because several years ago, I swear, dude, she was canning everything inside Circle 2. This is Missy Gannon for birdie, and we don't see that very often.
No, Missy's not one to lay up, although the angle she was coming at with that hyzer putt, she would just go right down the hill if she missed. A great putt from Lykke for the birdie.
And Lyssa's in for the double bogey here on the first. Bit of a rough start, but this course suits well for Lyssa's skills.
And Missy taking the smart par. A little bit of everything on that one. Birdie, bogey. Oh no, birdie, par, and a double. Moving on to hole 2, par 4, 509 feet. You have OB along the left side in those trees. The right side is safe, but you've got tricky footing. A lot of people are trying to turn something over a little bit into this gap right here on the hill. You could throw a sidearm, but you want to get far enough that you have a simple shot across this pond, and you can hyzer into the hill or throw a little bit flatter and let the hill's angle bring your disc toward the basket. Nice turnover there by Lykke. Looks like she'll still have a slight uphill run up for her second shot, but should be open.
Very common landing zone. Velediaz with a sidearm off the tee.
She gets a lot of power on her sidearms.
She lands a little shorter than you'd like, but she could still get over from there. And Missy going for a backhand turnover, but the angle's wrong, and it's hyzering towards.
Oh, she caught a tree and stayed in.
Yeah, she got lucky. Lykke also in that common landing area.
That can be a tricky spot because they've got a rock swale that kind of goes down, so your footing is a little less stable.
And really, it's like a uphill run-up if you want to try to go over and attack the green. Oftentimes from that position, you'll see people lay up like Missy did. Just play it for the par.
A layup from Lykke as well. She caught herself right behind the tree.
Macie is not laying up.
Hey, there we go. I mean, without the tree there, it was a beautiful line. She was going toward the basket.
Yeah.
And luckily that tree didn't knock her OB. Just sat her down. I really like this play of swinging something out wide and letting it skip on the grass toward the basket, because if you go too directly at the basket, a lot of times you'll end up OB.
Good precision out of Lorentzen for her upshot. And this is Gannon's third shot.
Ooh.
She's left herself with about an 18-foot par putt.
Missy's flirting with the OB
Oh, that's
today.
tricky.
Oh.
And Lykke, she throws her upshot out of bounds after laying up and being smart about her play. That's when I find it the most annoying.
Oh, left side chains for Macie. Yeah, it's always a little more disheartening if you make the smart play and it doesn't go your way. A nice putt from Lisa, though, to save the bogey.
Macie almost got her birdie to drop, but she trickled out of the chains. Missy was smart. She pitched up to play for par and was able to do that. Nice par on hole 2.
Ooh, just trickling over the nubs on the basket, and Lykke is in for her birdie.
Look at her start. Birdie, birdie.
And the par for Macie.
Open champion, hold like this.
Here we are, hole 3, a par 4, 656 feet. You do have out of bounds long in the road and left. Your tee shot can move aggressively to the right or just go straight towards that tee sign you just saw. Your second shot could be around this fairway or under that tree to the right side under the limbs with a more direct route towards the basket. Third shot's probably going to contend with this tall grass in some way, hopefully getting up there, getting yourself a par. We saw 0 birdies on this hole yesterday. Let's see what the ladies have for us today.
That's a nice shot from Lykke. It leaves it a little low, catching the edge of the hill, but she's in good position for her second shot.
Velediaz with a forehand off the tee. Hits the gap and gets good distance.
Nice shot from Macie.
Missy's shot is hyzering out, but it looks to be enough in the fairway that it's safe. She's actually down there by the old pin position. That'd be a birdie look in 2 years ago's basket position.
Oh, what a nice little kiss from the tree. Lisa definitely got lucky there with it being a nice kiss.
And we do have a Mando over on the right. You'll see a lot of players try to take off some distance and go between those trees and under the limbs. But the more obvious fairway is the one that Lorentzen just took. And here's that example that Lisa's doing. It's just so risky. You've got the Mando, you've got the low ceiling. But granted, it is easier to get up there going that direction.
A lot of disc shot shapes follow that right side fairway, seemingly easier, but the low ceiling and slope of the hill still make it a tricky shot.
I don't like the low ceiling. That's
Neither
what
do I.
keeps me from using it.
And you see a lot of people do what Lisa did, which is throw it too low, catch the grass, and cut roll down to the middle.
I feel like on the left side fairway, even if you mess up, you can still get a lot of distance, you know.
I agree. It's way more open. Missy's shooting up the hill, doesn't get a ton of distance, but puts herself in position.
This is going to be Missy's third shot. She needs to get up there and give herself a par putt.
I think from where Missy is, it makes a little more sense to take the right side. It opens up more.
Yeah.
Look, after her forehand, she had clipped that tree and it knocked her down, but still in good position. Throws it too low, but gets through the grass enough that she should be able to have an attempt at a putt.
This is Lisa's third shot. She's got her hands on her hips, and it's up there for some kind of a putt.
From Macie's forehand approach, she takes another forehand. Upshot, she'll be contending a little bit with those trees. Hard to see where her feet will be on that. But just inside the circle.
This is a cool putt.
Well, children of the corn.
Oh, she had a sauce on that one. This is Lisa's par save from 50.
Giving it a decent bid, but not quite enough juice.
In Missy's upshot, she went around the outside, and now she is pinched off on a knee trying to save par.
Oh,
That was a tough angle.
it's so much harder to get the height you need when you go from a knee. Makes you realize how much you use your legs when you putt. Yes, Macie.
Between the trees, she's in for par here on the third. 3 pars in a row for Macie Velediaz.
Pumping herself up a little bit after that one. Look here with the good putt for bogey. Missy will also be putting for her bogey. Gets that one. And Lisa with the bogey as well. So Macie getting a stroke on the card there with a par. The hole did play as the 4th most difficult, and today there were also no birdies.
No birdies yesterday, no birdies today.
Someone's got to get it tomorrow.
Wow, hole 3.
I'm going to put a bounty out on it. Move on to hole 4. We have our first par 5, 722 feet. This one, there's not too much reason to get aggressive on it. If you want the eagle, I say go for it. But shooting something over the pond with a nice left finish so that you can have maybe a look through this gap. But a lot of players are going to pitch up to the gap on their second shot, making their third shot the one going for the basket, and everyone wants a look at that birdie.
Macie up first with a backhand hyzer moving towards that birdhouse. And she skipped left of it. She set up well to probably lay up and play the hole for birdie. Lucky's shot's a bit low, but it ends up in a good position. She could also play for birdie. If you want to go for eagle, you need to move at least 75 feet past that birdhouse, in my opinion.
I think that's a good number. And it all comes down to what you want your second shot to be. If you want that backhand through the gap, or if you want a forehand. That's actually where I've seen it the most, is people taking the forehand approach. And so it's there for you to take, but a lot of people just don't see the benefit.
And from here, Lorentzen will just lay up, and she actually sends it past the first wall of trees, which I prefer. There's a lot of space to work with. Oh, and Lisa's bounced into I'm not so sure about that zone.
No, that one is really tricky when you get on the side of the hill, your footing's not so great, and then you have to contend with a couple smaller trees in addition to your main guardians.
The right side's just a little hairy over there.
All 4 players on this card opting for the layup. In my personal opinion, Missy's in the best position.
Macie going for it.
Love that. Great shot from Macie.
And she had a really nice hyzer angle over there from that left side. Yeah, I mean, look at the size of Missy's gap that she's placed herself in. That was perfect positioning. She's up there putting for birdie. Okay, we saw Lisa. She pushed her shot a little too far to the right side, and she's actually out of position, but still going across anyways, and she's safe.
Gets the green flag.
It's a circle 2 putt for birdie. I actually believe I saw Hannah win yesterday. Didn't she lay up from over there on the right side yet
She
again?
did, yeah. She was not in good position, recognized it, and made the smart move and did a second pitch. Oh my gosh. Wow. Yeah. You can say
Yeah.
that again.
We need a run back for that.
Oh, that was so smooth.
Standstill, forehand, almost for the eagle.
Just high in the chains, and these baskets don't really like that. Wow. What a highlight there for Lykke. Here's Lisa from that bottom part of the hill.
Tried to spin it in. Macie for birdie. It's
There
in.
we go, Macie.
With that birdie, that will put Macie under par for the round.
And the birdie for Missy. And that will bring her back to even for the round.
Lisa saves par here on hole 4. And a bag on drop in birdie for Lorentzen. I love that. I love how far she pushed her second shot, all the way down that
Yeah.
dirt.
It's risky, but if you can execute it, it just leaves you with so many more options.
Let's take a look at hole 5. A par 3, 334 feet. You've got out of bounds sidewalk on the right and out of bounds water on the left. At 334, you feel like you should be parking it, taking a birdie, and moving on to hole 6, but that's not the case at all. It really makes you think you want to match the terrain of the hill, but as soon as you do that, you can skip right into the water. So a lot of players will pull it to the right near the sidewalk and land a little high on the right side. Just on the, matter of safety. I like the angle Macie has this on, has a chance to get there.
That was great. Macie really executed that second option you kind of explained, because a lot of people go too high, and surprisingly enough, the grass isn't that skippy on that hill. It actually catches a lot of people, leaving you with kind of a scary, layup. I like that shot from Lykke. Very common place to land.
All of these ladies can throw 330, no doubt. Oh, Missy passed the tree. Missy parks it in the
Beautiful.
bullseye. She said scary.
She said scary, yeah.
It is
Anytime
scary.
you go straight at the basket, you hold your breath.
Lisa with a more conservative shot, short of the tree. And this is more of just a layup from here. There's no reason to risk this. Send it up in the air.
No, and it's much more approachable to have to lay up from even with the basket on the hill versus that upper hill down to basket.
A birdie look for Macie.
Ooh. Missing the basket left. Should be fine and easy to clean that up. Didn't look like she rolled that far.
Lisa slams that par putt in. I didn't realize how far past her upshot went.
Yeah, neither did I. Macie's a little further than I thought. Nothing she can't handle, though. Par for Macie. This is such a fun hole because there's always a line of spectators from tee pad to basket and then at your next tee. So a lot of good energy coming from this Idlewild crowd. And the par for Lykke.
Missy taking the risk.
Here we have hole 6, par 4, 555 feet. We play the long tee pad to the long basket, same as the MPO. Your first shot is either going to be a sidearm that kind of lands into the hill, or the backhand turnover. If you get the right angle, you can glide with the hill and get just around this tree. It's such an ideal spot to be. You can get stuck behind the trees though, and a lot of players will take their second shot just shy of this OB and give themselves a long putt for that birdie.
Missy Gannon up first after 2 birdies in a row. A nice backhand shot with a baby turnover angle. A bit of a cut roll, but she's safe in the fairway.
That is one of the dangers with the backhand, is that if you turn it over too much, we have seen the disc cut into the hill and roll all the way OB on the left side. Something you won't see as common with the sidearm play.
Velediaz's sidearm is safe in the middle of the fairway. A little bit past Missy Gannon's shot.
A little mini flip up there from Lykke, but she leaves it short and is still on the top of the hill. Not a terrible place to be for the second shot. And Lisa throwing her sidearm a little bit high, and she'll be on top of the hill as well.
I want to shout out to my commentary partner, Raven. She actually had a backhand shot the first day we played together and made it past that giant center tree, which is one of the best air shots I've ever seen from a female from the long tee.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was really good.
I did it today.
I'm looking at the old stats over here. I'm seeing that. So Lisa is up there in a birdie putt position, as well as Lorentzen. And Missy has given herself a long look at birdie as well. And from here, no one is really being that aggressive. You can try to get to the green, but there's no point. You can lay up short and give yourself a long birdie look. You'd really hope to lay up a little bit closer to the edge, though.
Yeah, a lot of these ladies left it a little short, so it's less of a long putt and more of a kind of jump or throw into the green. Ooh, Macie. So Missy here will have a legitimate C2 putt. Do it. Oh.
Both of those were deceiving. I thought they were both going in.
Yeah, a little bit further than you think. You can kind of see that circle 1 tassel in front of Lisa that's still several feet past that OB barrier. Lisa giving it a run, going past the basket. Lykke grabbing the par. Lisa following suit, making the putt for her par.
Gannon in for par. As well as Velediaz.
That one didn't want to stay for a second.
Half out, but it's back in. There were only 5 birdies on the day here on hole 6, and one of them was my partner right here, Raven Klein.
That one felt really good.
Let's check out hole 7, one of my favorite holes on the course. Look at this tee shot. Uphill, turning to the right, forehand players will have an advantage, or if you have a tasty backhand turnover in your arsenal, landing right about here. That'll give you a 200-foot approach into the green, but it is a tight tunnel, preferably taking this main fairway, but you can sneak down the right side over there. It's just about half the size of the main fairway. This feels like a really rewarding 3, and birdie sometimes, par sometimes feels like a birdie here. Missy Gannon up first. Hits the main fairway with a nice turnover angle.
That's beautiful. What's nice about this fairway is that you don't have to hit it very high. If you can go directly into the hillside, the angle really allows the disc to skip up toward the rest of the fairway. So you almost have a backboard.
Backboard, backboard.
Look, yeah, going with the sidearm. Wow, that is a strange reaction.
It's in bounds.
Yeah, catches an early tree and then continues to roll forward up the fairway.
Love the angle on Lisa's forehand. Probably the best drive of the group. Uphill on the dirt path. Perfect position to attack for birdie.
Honestly, not even a terrible position here for looking at a lot of uphill left. Oh, catches a tree on the right side, and that's going to be a much trickier spot.
Macie with a nice standstill forehand flex.
Beautiful.
Puts it on the chips. And that's going to be a drop-in birdie for Macie.
Missy with the forehand approach as well. Doesn't turn it over quite as much, so it fades out before the basket, but she's still in the circle.
And Lisa with the longest drive of the group has a standstill approach, but leaves herself with a bit of a lengthy birdie putt. That was smooth.
It was a great shot there by Lykke.
Gannon for birdie from circle's edge.
Beautiful putt. Well done, Missy.
If you make a birdie putt, do you jog it in or do you walk it in?
Ooh, I think it kind of depends on the round.
Lisa's a walker.
Yeah, Lisa always walks. I think if it's on a momentum build, I might jog it in, or if it's a long one, just because I don't want to waste too much time.
Right.
I feel like if I walk in a long one, unless there was like an explosion behind me, it just seems like it takes a while.
Yeah. Birdies excite me, so I'm definitely probably going to skip it in, jog it in,
I do
run
like
it
the
in.
skip. I've done that.
Skipping is my preferred method of travel.
I think it's a really good one, and it's really good for your body. Skipping gets the heart rate up. We have hole 8 here, par 5, 576 feet. Off the tee, the fairway really wants you to throw like a hyzer, something maybe slow speed understable so that you can get less of a tight turn at the end and more of a pushing shot. Your second shot, you want to try and push up to the top of this hill, because your third shot, ideally you take this left fairway and have something that slowly turns, or a forehand into the basket. This is one of our tricky greens. I mean, a lot of them are, but this one sneaks up on you.
Missy Gannon hits the initial gap, clips some trees, but lands in a very common position, slightly on the left side.
I was going to say, I expect Missy to go for this forehand flex, which if you have it, it's lovely for this hole.
Oh, look at that little help from the tree friend.
Yeah, she puts a little too much on that, but tree friend here to help.
Lisa with a more low line, not as much of an aggressive spike hyzer angle. She's landed on the right side. Oh.
Lykke also going for that forehand, but she has an early release and she's going to be in a tricky spot here.
Oh, a forehand cut roller. Usable.
Well done.
That's exactly what you needed. Missy Gannon's second shot. She's going aggressive, getting maximum distance as far as she can up the tunnel.
That's
perfect.
wonderful.
Perfect. She can attack for birdie from there if she desires.
Yeah, if you got to pick an ideal situation, that's where you'd want to be. Lisa went aggressive, but she'll be on that right side. Could be a tough angle.
Macie over there with Missy on the right side.
Hard to see which direction that kicked for Lykke. hopefully toward the fairway.
Lisa's third shot gets caught up on the way there, so she'll have to play for par.
There is a nice forehand line from this right side.
Macie hits about the same set of trees as Lisa.
Yeah,
also.
it's just left of where they went.
Yeah, they're going to have to play for par. I hate it because when you have two good shots, you feel like you're in birdie land. It's right there.
Yep,
And
you
the
already
third
bought your
shot-
tickets.
The third shot's probably I want to say the most important one, even though I think the tee shot's the most difficult.
I think that's accurate. Missy here with the touch forehand approach. Great shot. She
Missy's-
really is dissecting this fairway.
She is. She's looking at birdie while Lisa and Macie got caught up on the way there, and they're still having to scramble for par. This is going to be a working woman's par. Velediaz from the knee.
Ooh,
Doesn't
turns
get
her
much
wrist.
out of that one. Lisa from the crouch.
Opting for the backhand after Macie's attempt, and is a good choice. Macie deciding not to mess with it, but she still leaves her layup a little short. It's a tap in, but whenever you decide to lay up at that kind of point, you really want to be up against the base. And a par there for Lykke. Feels good.
You will not see Macie go for a lot of risky putts. That's kind of her play. She's just more of a conservative style player. And she really places well doing that.
She does.
Missy Gannon in for birdie.
There's something to be said about not only being aware of the golf game, but being able to stick to it when you've had a rough hole or when you've had these opportunities, but you know that the risk reward isn't there.
And you saw Macie was only 40, 45 away. And she knew she was laying up for the bogey, and she was perfectly fine doing that.
Yeah.
Macie can make a 40-footer all day.
Yeah, definitely.
But with that downhill fast green, she just made a choice to play for bogey. That's smart golf.
So the birdie there for Missy.
Welcome to beautiful Abilene, Georgia, home of the International Disc Golf Center. Featuring 3 world-class disc golf courses and a full-service pro shop, the IDGC has everything you need for the ultimate disc golf getaway. Explore the sport's history at the Ed Hedrick Disc Golf Museum and spend your evenings around the campfire right here in picturesque Wildwood Park. The IDGC belongs on every disc golfer's bucket list. Plan your trip today. Visit pdga.com/IDGC.
Welcome back. Hole 9, 258 feet, a par 3, playing slightly downhill, a very tight fairway. I've seen the most success here with a backhand turnover. Forehand players have a nice angle, but I haven't seen a lot of good forehanded shots here in person or on coverage yet. It's easy just to throw a putter with a bit of an Anheuser angle and get yourself in the circle. Whatever you can get to get down there and get a look at a birdie 2 is what you should use. Missy Gannon up first. Turnover off the tee. The angle was too tight, but she busts through and she's got a long circle 2 look at birdie.
That is really nice because you see often with that backhand turnover, that same tree that she just missed pushes everyone into the OB, or not OB, but into the rough on the left.
And Lisa opts for a forehand, but does not make it, but maybe 30% way down the fairway.
Look, you're hitting this. Oh, what a beautiful tree kick.
That was fun.
I predict we would see 3 forehands on this one. Ooh, that looks nice from Macie.
That's the first pure forehand
Ooh.
line I've seen. Macie parks it.
Beautiful. She just wanted to prove you wrong.
It's so fun watching Macie play.
I agree.
I think she's one of my favorite players.
A nice forehand second shot here from Lisa.
Oh, Lisa smokes it.
Oh, coming in fast.
Oh, it's rolling long. That's going to be a 45-foot uphill par putt for Lykke Fajkus on the 9th. Not what you want to look at here.
Missy looking at this downhill putt. All right, I was curious. I didn't think she would go for that one.
That's smart. You know, the camera isn't doing the downhill angle of this hole justice. It's fast.
Ooh,
That thing was moving, wasn't
yeah. I mean, that was a great bid. That was a gutsy one.
it? It was.
what'd you call it yesterday? Froggy?
Yeah.
She got a little froggy with it.
Lisa's par save. This is meaty.
That's a good bid.
Valiant effort. Got a taste of the cage. Velediaz for birdie. From 12 feet, it's in. It's got to feel good after consciously laying up to take the bogey on the previous hole. Getting a birdie here on the 9th for Macie puts her at 2 under par. Lorentzen also taking a par here, leaving her at 2 under par for the round. And Lisa smoked that upshot long. She'll have to settle for bogey. Missy Gannon actually with a smart upshot. We've all seen Missy make big, long downhill putts, but she said no thanks, and she laid that one up and took a drop-in par. And that's the front 9 of round 2 here at Idlewild.
That was a really fun showing from this card. Let's check in on this leaderboard. Valerie and Madison still in the lead with 7 down. But Missy, Lykke, and Macie making their move up. Just wanted to say thank you so much to Sean. Oh, I don't know. Sorry, I messed up.
Conrad wants to thank Sean for retrieving his Pure at Northwood last week. So thanks, Sean. Conrad really appreciates that. And also, if you guys would like to support my tour, Holly Finley, head on over to pharmacbd.com and use code Holly for 20% off. All sales you do on PharmaCBD help support my tour out here on the road.
And if you want to support me, I have my tour series on dynamicdisc.com and a couple through another round. Thank you so much for watching.
See you on the back 9.